Hey, welcome. This is Steve Goodner. I'm the founder of EQFIT. I'm starting a couple of new playlists on my YouTube channel, on the EQFIT YouTube channel. This one is EQFIT Sales Insights, Straight Talk with Steve. Again, these are unscripted. So I've got another playlist called Emotionally Intelligent Living, Straight Talk with Steve. I'm now starting EQFit Sales Insights, Straight Talk with Steve. And then there'll be another one that is EQFit Leadership Insights, Straight Talk with Steve. You can see the theme here, right? Well, the whole point of this is simple. I think we just need to have a conversation about specific things, whether you're in sales or leadership, or you're just trying to live the best life that you can. I think it's important that we just have some straight talk. And I can share 40 plus years of sales experience with you. I'm a business owner now, small business, but I do a lot of work with sales people, sales teams, sales leaders. I've been in sales all my life. I love it, as challenging as it can be. And I know the same struggles, the same pain, the same frustrations that all of us salespeople go through. And if you own your own business, you're selling all the time, whether people realize that or not. These are unscripted. So I may wander a little bit, but what I really want to share with you are some secrets and some things that I've learned over the years that I think really help. At least they help me. I've seen it help other people in my coaching and my training. And a lot of what I'm going to share with you is not tied to a specific sales training or technique. So, for instance, things like Spin and Challenger and Miller Hyman and PSS. I think that I'm dating myself there. That's Professional Selling Skills 1 and 2. That was so long ago, I can barely remember it. But bottom line, what I'm going to talk about is something that's going to help beyond that and will work with any sales techniques or tactics. The first thing that I know, and I want to set the framework here, sales happens in the shared mind space the salesperson creates and invites the buyer into. Now, that could be in an office, it could be virtual, it could be anywhere, right? But the reality is, there is this shared mind space that the salesperson creates. Well, if you want the buyer to come into that, what does that have to look like? Well, it's got to be comfortable. It's got to feel safe. It's got to feel like there's some value and some reward that may happen if the buyer decides to join the salesperson in that place. And by the way, I said I might skip around. There's a reason for my kind of skipping around. 57% of the buying decision is made before somebody ever talks to a salesperson. That's the average right now. So the job of the salesperson used to be information, features, benefits, all of that. Guess what? Somebody can go online now or use AI to get all the information they want and need to make a good decision. What they cannot get through technology is relationship, connection, trust, influence, that interconnectivity that happens when you build a relationship with someone. That's the missing percentage. Let me give you another percentage. 70% or more of the buying decision is driven by emotional drivers. I've got research data on that I can show anybody. And I may show that in future episodes here. I do a podcast, so I guess I'm calling this an episode. Bottom line, if all you're doing is sticking to the facts and the details, the features and the benefits, you're missing at least 70% of the sales opportunity. Now, What do the top salespeople do just automatically? They understand that emotional drivers are a big part of the buying process. Well, what would that look like? It would look like uh, I'm worried. I need to get the right solution. So if I'm the buyer, this is what my emotions that are going on. Can I trust this person? I, I'm worried that their solution may not be what I need. My boss is really coming down on me. I got to get this done. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm using emotion words, and those are directly tied to the drivers in the buying decision. And there are so many more, and we'll dive deeper into those in the future. But you're starting to get a picture that emotional intelligence, along with specific sales skills and our ability as salespeople to create mental toughness, emotional toughness, um, call it what you want. It's emotional intelligence, but it's a set of skills that helps us navigate our own emotions and the emotions of others. Do you know what the biggest reason that salespeople don't reach full success or full potential? You know what the biggest reason is? Self-limitation. I can't do this. I can't do this. I won't do that. I hate that, whatever. It's cold calling, right? Cold calling is a great one. And I hear this all the time when I do coaching and training. Oh, I just, no, not for me. Okay, fine. I mean, that's your choice as a person. You can either choose to do some form of cold outreach or not. But the problem is, if you don't do that, you lose opportunity, right? That's a mindset. That's part of what I call the EQFIT mindset that is so important for us to reach our full potential, to have our greatest success. What does that include? 4 basic pillars of that mindset: habit transformation, emotional intelligence, specific skill development, and higher rational thinking skill development. That's a lot to take in, but I'll break those down as we get into more of these videos in the future. The key here is to understand that there is a way to create your roadmap to success in sales that includes you having the right skills, both up here and in interacting with other people. And so many of those skills are based in neuroscience and based in emotional intelligence. That's what I bring to the table after 40 years of doing this. Now I spend my time coaching people, training people, whether it's salespeople or leaders, even ministry leaders. I'm working with some of those right now. And I love the work that I do because I don't have all the answers, but the answers that are right for you are inside of you already. My job is to help bring those out. Now, let's go back to I can't do that. I hate doing that. That is a mindset and it's a habit. That's why habit transformation is so important. What's an easy way to get around that? Add one word to that I can't do that or I'm no good at that. Add the word yet. I can't do that yet. Do you see how that reframes it? And it changes it to, okay, maybe I can't do that very well right now, but if I try, I may get some benefit out of that. Maybe I can change that. So you go from pessimism to optimism in that process. Optimism is a key driver for salespeople. Here's what happens with, boy, you're getting a whole bunch today. Here's what happens with salespeople and basically anybody, but especially us in sales. We go along in our normal day and then something hits, rejection, whatever. Somebody says no, whatever happens, and we have this drop, this big dip into what I call the valley of despair. So we're disappointed, we're frustrated, maybe we're angry, we despair, we're stressed. all of those kinds of things. Eventually, what happens is we accept it, and then we start to move forward with hope and possibility. Here's the key. We're all going to experience that drop. The key is, how long do you stay in the valley of despair? The tools that I've learned over the years and that I coach and train people in now help them get out of that valley of despair much quicker. Why is that important? Here's why. Have you ever reached a point where it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're just done? You're out of energy. You've had rejections all day long. Things are not working the way they should. And you say, that's it, I'm done. But what might you miss between 2 and 5? I've seen this happen. It's happened to me when I just pressed through, pushed on, knowing that I only needed one yes. And by the way, when somebody tells me no, basically my brain reinterprets that as not yet. Either I haven't given them the right information, or the timing is not right, or there's an emotional driver I haven't addressed, or something. I just see no as not yet. I just see everybody as wanting to work with me. Now, maybe that's a bit optimistic, but I'd rather live there than live in a place where I'm always pessimistic and I hate my job and I hate selling and all of that. I love doing what I do, but I have to sell it to be able to do it. So if you're listening out there and you need help, this is my sales pitch. Let's just walk that journey together, right? Now, I have created some masterminds, which I've taken 12 months of coaching, training, and transformation and compacted it down into 12 weeks. And I do have an EQFIT sales mastermind. You want to look at that, check out my website, eqfit.org. The pages are going to be up there in the next week or so, the new pages with these masterminds. And I can only take a very limited number of people. The whole point of this video is not just to sell my stuff, but bottom line, I'm not going to be one of those persons that says, oh, I just hope I can maybe share some information people will like, and maybe they'll like me enough to buy from me. Well, you should do that already. I'm a great person, and I think you are too. But the reality is, what I know for sure is that the people that I work with, I have seen massive transformation. Let me give an example. I worked with one business to consumer company for 12 months. The owner gave me 12 months to work with their salespeople. In that 12 months, they increased their sales by 26% and they doubled their net profit. Now, was that all me? No, of course not. But what it was a joint venture between me and the people I was working with, where we walked that journey together, and they said, yeah, we'll buy into this. And they saw the value of it enough that they committed to it. And I will never be able to do the hard work to help somebody like you become who you want to be, but you can do it, and I can guide you on that pathway. That's what these videos are also intended to do. Even if you never reach out to me, if you just pick up a few things from these videos that will help you become a better salesperson and really help you to enjoy what you're doing more, that would be great. Now, I know we all have bosses, we have people we don't like, we have customers that drive us crazy and all of that. Underneath all of that is the same set of emotional drivers that the buyers that we talk to are dealing with. So if we can better navigate our own emotions and the emotions of other people, and then we can use our skills, we can use our approaches, we can use our higher thinking skills like adaptive thinking and logical reasoning to overcome those challenges and objections. What you do is create a pathway that allows you to move beyond success to real, true success, sustained, and satisfaction. That's it for today. I just wanted to start with the introduction today and share that with you. I have so much more to share on straight talk about sales and how the kinds of things that I've learned over the years might be helpful to you. I hope it is. Happy selling out there. Every step you take forward is the next opportunity to close that next deal. Think about that as you move forward.